Hi there, and thanks so much for checking out this bullet journal video. December 2023. What the heck? I literally cannot comprehend how quickly this year has gone, and this is my last design for 2023. I'm really pleased with my journal this year. I managed to theme every single month around a different country or place. I wasn't sure when I started in January if I would be able to sustain the theme throughout the whole year, and there were times where I really struggled for inspiration. There were a couple of months where the links to the country was a little bit tenuous, but on the whole, I am pretty happy with my designs. So for December, my final destination is Germany, the country where arguably a lot of Christmas traditions have originated, such as the decorated Christmas tree, advent calendars, the concept of Santa Claus, among other things. My design, however, is focusing on gingerbread houses, which are now very popular around the world at Christmas time, but it's thought this tradition started in Germany. So one train of thought is that after the story Hansel and Gretel was published by the Brothers Grimm in 1812, German bakers were inspired by the story and began to make small decorated houses from Lebkuchen, which is a spiced honey biscuit, or cookie if you're North American, and the tradition has grown from there. However, gingerbread itself is much older than this, and the first known gingerbread dates from around 2400 BC in Greece. People were decorating gingerbread long before Hansel and Gretel was published, so the true origin of the gingerbread house is not known, but it was certainly made popular in Germany, if nothing else. So you can see I've cut myself a little house out of brown craft paper to represent the gingerbread biscuit, and I'm decorating it using my white Jelly Roll gel pen for the icing. Originally this was not my idea for this month, and I was actually going to do a Scandinavian-inspired folk art design. I do love that kind of art, and I found loads of really nice reference pictures, but when I went to draw my setup, the design ideas were just not flowing and I really struggled. But I was actually doing another video for Christmas cards, which will come out soon, so keep an eye out for that one. And this was one of my ideas for that, and I love the results so much that I really wanted to do it for one of my bullet journals as well. I marked out the general area where I wanted the windows and the doors to go, but I didn't measure exactly, so some things are a little bit wonky. But I think that's kind of its charm and maybe makes it look more like uneven icing. Well, that's what I'm going to tell myself anyway. I added a few little decorations around the windows and doors, but I didn't want it to get too busy, so made sure to leave some brown space too. When all of the drawing was done, I used my roller tape to stick it in place. I decided to use a grey brush pen for the title because I felt like black would look too harsh with this design, and I think the grey gives it a wintry vibe and complements the brown and white quite well. To finish off the page, I used a punch to cut out some snowflakes and dotted them around the house. My next spread is of course the calendar. I was actually really stuck on the design for this page for ages, to the point where I actually filmed this page last and hoped I would get some more inspiration from the rest of my spreads. My initial idea was to draw different shaped windows to represent all the days of the month, to sort of link back to the gingerbread windows in the houses, but of course because I need to write things inside them, I couldn't have crossbars or dividers in them. And then without that, it just looked like a bunch of squares. Then I wondered if I could make each day a biscuit or cookie, but then that's really hard to capture without any detail as well, and they would just end up being a bunch of circles. Neither of those things are wrong necessarily, because I kind of do that on a lot of my different setups, but it just kind of felt like the idea was there, but it just wasn't really working. In the end, I just decided to cut out some more craft paper and draw all of the boxes in white. But I left a small border around the edge to do little decorations to represent the icing. Considering that this wasn't what I had wanted to do to start with, I'm quite happy with how it turned out, and I definitely feel like it looks gingerbready. I added all the numbers to the squares and then the December title at the top again with the grey pen. To the right of the page, I added a section for memories, which I partitioned off with a single line, not wanting to make the page too busy. And again, to finish off, I used a glue pen to stick down some more snowflakes. My next page is for habits and trackers, and just to add a little bit more colour, I have a few festive washi tapes I wanted to use, so I added a banner at the top and the bottom of the page. I'm keeping the layout the same this month. All my habits will be on the left side, while the plant watering tracker will be on the right. I'm continuing to use the grey pen for all my outlines this time. I so often use black. This just makes a really nice change and fits with the theme much better. This is a brush pen, so keeping the lines vaguely straight was quite a challenge. As I've been doing on a few videos this year, here are a few facts about my chosen country. Germany is the 7th largest country in Europe and has the largest economy. It's bordered by 9 countries, which are France, Luxembourg, Denmark, Belgium, Switzerland, Austria, Czech Republic, Netherlands and Poland, which is very convenient if you like travelling. Germany is famous for many creative arts, but particularly classical music, with famous composers such as Bach, Brahms, Schumann, Wagner and Beethoven. It is well known that Germans love a beer. There are supposedly about 1,500 breweries and over 7,000 different types of beer. Oktoberfest is the biggest beer festival in the world. It's held in Munich every year, where the beer is served in steins that hold a whole litre. Germany is also one of the world's biggest car producers, most notable brands being Volkswagen, Mercedes, Audi and BMW. The German language is not just spoken in Germany, but it's also an official language in Switzerland, Austria, Belgium, Luxembourg and Liechtenstein. Moving on to my to-do list, and this page is going to be a Christmassy organisational one. I'll have my normal to-do list, which will also have anything I need to do for Christmas on it, but I'm also going to have 2 other lists, one for Christmas cards I'm going to write, and another for all the gifts I need to get people. So I cut out 3 little house shapes, similar to the front cover. I'm giving them a border with a white gel pen and then writing the title of each list in the roof area and adding a little bit of decoration around that, but I'm not going overboard because I need plenty of space to write my lists. I love how the white gel pen looks on the craft paper, but I think everything took me twice as long to do because it's quite a fine nib and I needed to go over all the lines twice to make it stand out enough. Okay, so when those designs were done, I just stuck them down with some more roller tape. I don't know about anyone else, but every time I go to my local craft shop, they get a different brand of roller tape in, which is so annoying because I try to be a little bit more eco-friendly and get the refillable ones. When they keep changing, the shop stops selling the refills, so I've got like 3 empty ones just waiting to see if the refills come back in stock. I should probably just get them online, but I try to support craft shops because buying craft supplies online, you don't always know what you're getting, like with the scale and the colours and stuff like that. Plus, I love just mooching around all the different items in craft shops and imagining what I could do with all the interesting tools and supplies. Anyway, that was a tangent. So I added the header for the page with the grey brush pen and also a sprinkling of snowflakes using the glue pen to stick them all down. So this is sort of into my weekly spread setup now, but because this year December starts on a Friday, that will go onto the right page, so I have the left free for my gratitude page. I'm beginning with the decorative elements and cutting out some more craft paper for the gingerbread. This time they are going to be mini ones in a line along the top. The weekly pages are going to be Dutch doors, so the houses are going to stay visible throughout the month, which I love because they turned out so freaking cute! I was short on space for the gratitude page and just about managed to squeeze in all the dates for the month. I have tried not using dates for the page before and just leave a space to add whatever, but without the rigidity of doing it daily, I kind of just forget to fill it all out. I had a tiny bit of space at the top to add the title, and I must have been in a daydream or something because I wrote memories again instead of gratitude. It took me quite a while to notice as well, but I do go back and fix it later. Okay, so now we are properly into the weekly spreads and the layout is staying simple. I'm going vertical this month with 3 sections on each page. So for most weeks, Saturday and Sunday will be in one weekend column. The Dutch door element will mean the top of the page is cut off and I will leave little tabs on each page. I never seem to get the tabs quite right when I try to incorporate them. I think I usually make them too small. So this time when I was sketching it out, I made a point of drawing them bigger than I thought it needed to be. And that seems to have done the trick because I just think they look a lot better than some of my previous attempts. I'm adding a strip of washi to the top on both sides and then cutting away the excess so there will be a thin line of it on the top of the page as well as covering the tabs. I feel like I made the tab cutting more difficult than it needed to be, but my scissors were too big to cut the tab out neatly and the blade on my craft knife was just a bit blunt, so I just used it where I needed to, but I had to press really hard. And here's the bit where I finally realised I made a mistake, so I just cut out a bit of spare dot grid paper to cover it. The trick with this is to match up the dots when you stick it down, and then it's a little bit less noticeable. And through the power of editing, we're on to the last page, where I'm just finishing off the decorative elements. All the tabs are covered with washi, so I kind of felt like the last page needed some too, although I didn't do any on the first page with the gratitude log, but whatever, I just felt it needed it, and then I stuck down the rest of my houses. I really can't believe this is the last setup of 2023, but I really feel like this is a good end to the year. I'm pleased with my little gingerbread houses. I think they turned out super cute, and they are actually really easy to do with just 2 supplies and a bit of imagination. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've been following this series over the year, I so appreciate it and I hope you've enjoyed the designs. Please feel free to leave a like and a comment to let me know what you think, and if you enjoy arts and crafts and journaling, then consider subscribing to my channel for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye!